Should be going live, and let me play this for them. Yo, we got DJ J Cal in the building. That was amazing. The Funky Planet. I popped the link in the chat room, so if anybody wants to go back and listen to that and vibe to
it's also on Spotify. I got it on Spotify and iTunes and TikTok, all over the place. You know.
You guys,
you can rap on it, you can sing on it, you can walk like a pimp on it, whatever you want to do with it.
You really can. What inspired you to get to do that track?
I was just like I always am, blazing in front of my computer one night, and I was actually practicing how to use Logic Pro. And just practicing and my neighbor he's a guitar player. He plays that. He plays the lead. So he jumped on that shit right there. As you can hear that womp womp, that's him. That's doing the womp womp. And I just took my time with it. I produced it well. I put the parts where that needed to be, and that's it. I was looking for a vocalist or a rapper on it, but I just left it like that, you know. But it can still be done. I can do a remix on that shit, you know.
I hear a lot of West Coast influence in that too.
Yeah, I was born and raised on the West Coast, so.
Shout out to the West Coast. I'm in Arizona, so I feel you.
Oh shit, you're down the road, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm from San Diego too, and I'm from Vegas. I'm half and half. I'm a hybrid.
Well, you know what they say, it never rains in Southern California, right?
Yeah, right. It rained a lot this year. This year, like from January all the way to like the summertime, it was like rainy almost every day, and it was kind of whack.
Wow. And it missed Arizona altogether. Usually we get a good monsoon rain, and we didn't get anything this year. So it's been a little wacky. The people in the chat, Amos said that that's a dope beat. So they were feeling it.
Yeah, you guys can grab it, do whatever you want with it. It's on Spotify. I think it's on Instagram too. When you do that music little thing on your story, it's on there too.
Oh, nice.
J-Town Radio.
What's up,
hey,
dog?
So I see you say you're a hip hop historian. Tell me a little bit about that.
I kind of just recently realized that I am, because I like to ask these questions, kind of like you guys ever watch Nori at Drink Champs on YouTube?
Yeah.
Kind of like that. I was kind of doing that before them, but I'm just a regular little local DJ, you know what I mean? But I grew up in the era where hip hop was just being born when I was a kid, and I kind of feel like I was born and raised with it at the same time it was, you know what I mean? Because 1982, I can remember as a kid just listening to Zapp and Roger and all the funky beats. I was like 7 years old, and then from there it just kept, 1985 came around, and you had the West Coast came out. I mean, the East Coast with all their, Dougie Fresh and Grandmaster Flash. It just blew up, And
well, we're the same age, because I think you're born in 75. I'm born in 76.
I'm 76 too. January.
Oh, you're 76 too. Oh, nice. So yeah, I feel you. Definitely. Like I can relate completely.
Yeah. So that from a young age, I kind of already knew. After seeing my first lowrider show, I grew up in San Diego, and I don't know if you guys heard of Barrio Logan or Chicano Park, but it's a historic part of San Diego. It was known for gangs and all that shit in the 80s and whatever.
Right.
But besides that, the music and the culture came with it, and I grew up in an era where I was fortunate enough to go to these lowrider shows in the neighborhood, and the DJs would set up, you know what I mean? And everybody's here doing their thing, watching lowriders, taking pictures. And I was like, all right, that's cool. I was always stuck to the DJ. Like whatever he was doing, I would look over. Some of them would actually let me come up and see what I was doing from 6, 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, and that's always grabbed my attention. And I stuck with it, man. I started buying CDs when I could afford it, cassettes, and
Kmart was a spot back then.
Well, back in my hood, there was a little swap meet down the road that you can get like three cassettes for $5, but they were bootleg. You can just
right.
I don't know if you guys remember those, but
yeah.
And after long enough time, the names would the fucking tape would erase, so you have to put it in a marker. Too short. Right. Two Live Crew.
Yep.
Rock in.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I was lucky enough is that my mom didn't speak English. It's just Spanish, so I could play Two Live Crew and NWA, and she wouldn't know what the hell. Fuck the police,
Yeah. Did you ever go to the lowrider super shows?
In Vegas, I moved out in Vegas in the early 90s.
Okay.
Right in the turn of the 90s, right around 1990, when Kid Frost and La Raza and No Mayonnaise with Mentirosa, with Lighter Shade of Brown.
Cypress Hill even.
Yeah, Cypress Hill. But see, the thing with Cypress Hill was there were still Latinos and everything, but they were kind of on their own. They were more like in the East Coast raw hip hop style. You know what I mean? Like until
right. Well, Mellow Man Ace is a founding member of Cypress Hill.
I've actually interviewed him over Facebook, like
nice.
Not video, but like messaging, and he kind of mentioned something like regretting it, not because I don't blame him either, because he had a big hit, #1 hit on the radio, Mentirosa, and this was like the first Spanish
Godfather of Latin rap.
This is the first. That's what he calls himself, but I cannot fight him on that because he's probably the first Spanglish, if you want to call it, artist on the radio. You know, like nobody ever heard besides La Bamba and shit like that. You know,
right.
But this guy was the first. This is the first Spanish rapper I ever heard of. But and he took a #1 hit, but he was part of Cypress Hill, like you said. And towards like when Cypress Hill first started coming out with their hit, you know, it didn't really pick up for them until they came out with Insane in the Membrane. Then they were worldwide, you know. But Mello had to make a choice of sticking with the group or going solo, and he chose solo. And I mean, I don't want to call him one hit wonder, but that's kind of what it is.
A lot of people,
you know.
Yeah,
there's a lot of one hit wonders, man, that they're out there, and I can name a lot of them. But we all know where Cypress Hill went. We all know where his career went.
Right, and he's actually trying to do some breakthrough stuff right now. And you know, I encourage him because he and I talk, and so I encourage him to keep going because he definitely deserves some accolades. He's very creative and influential.
He doesn't give up on the culture, and that's one thing I like about him, you know. And but yeah, back to the early hip hop days.
Yeah.
And how I got into it. I didn't start actually DJing until I was maybe 17, you know. And at that time, I kind of skipped the whole record part because I couldn't afford all that shit when I was a kid. You know, I had to get it till I started working and making my own money because my mom would be like, "I ain't buying, DJ K, what is that?" You know how Latin moms are, bro. They don't support your dreams for shit. So I got into CD mixing. It was actually when I started doing CD1, CD2. That's how I started. And I can scratch and all that, and I got into it later. But it's my I think my specialty more is my selection of music more than anything. If you go to my Spotify, I got about 100 playlists already made. I've been working on since 2016, 15, like 5 years on Spotify. I've been working on these playlists for the people. So that's kind of what I think, and from some people have told me the same thing. It's not about the scratching and all that. Yeah, you can go off, but if you give the people a good selection of music, it's they're not going to forget you. And this summer alone in San Diego, California, I was fortunate enough to DJ for the people, like in front of the beach. Like I just bought myself a little speaker from that Trump money that I got sent out. I bought myself a little speaker, a Bluetooth. That battery lasts forever, and I'm right in front of the boardwalk. Next thing you know, I'm performing, I'm singing, I'm rapping. I've got artists coming on. It's all on video. I got to find time to make it into a little documentary, kind of, because it happened right when people were not even allowed to go in the water in the beach.
Oh wow!
When this whole COVID shit happened, and I started in Encinitas and Moonlight Beach. If you know San Diego, you know Encinitas. And then I worked my way down to Mission Beach, where it's more of my people, because over there you have more culture, more color. You know what I mean? And I could get down more. I was playing on Sundays was Old School Sunday. On Saturday it was pretty much party music, and Fridays was funk. So I kept it like that every day, and I would ask all the people that I met there was actually a lot like groups of bikers. The biker crews basically is what they were. They still hang out there.
Right.
And I would tell them, "Hey, what's today? Tuesday, Jerry. All right. It's Tupac Tuesdays." So I just played Tupac. Hey. And at nighttime, I would go downtown. So, yeah, that's what I did this summer. And I did it just for the people. You know, later on, I put a tip jar up there because people were just telling me to. It wasn't really because I needed it or I wanted it, but yeah, I did pretty good over there. And I do some singing too, some karaoke.
Oh.
And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I do, and I've been doing it for so long.
When you can be creative on the boardwalk like that and get a group of people to come and vibe with you and just really stand there and pay attention and enjoy and appreciate everything that you're playing. I'm so familiar with that because I end up I California is my second home, and mainly Santa Monica and Venice, but also, you know, I've been out to San Diego quite a few times. But there's nothing like that feeling of just being out in the open with a crowd of people, just really being interactive and appreciating what you got going on.
Yeah,
So
I would get compliments like every day, and then my little brother joined. You know, he joined me to what I was doing, and he saw he got to witness it, you know, firsthand. And people would just every day would come up to us like, hey, I appreciate what you guys are doing, especially right now in these times. You know, you lift the spirit of the beach. I even got some complaints from the lifeguards, you know, trying to be haters. I got them all on video, so in the future I'll share that. I got it all on video, you know what I mean?
Hey, J. Cal, has there ever been a time where you just wanted to quit doing music, DJing, just being a part of it? You ever just feel like, fuck it?
I've had times. I actually was gonna quit DJing when I started producing. I started making beats for artists. You know, mostly local artists here in Vegas. I got a few guys that I work with here. Nothing major, but my partner Jerry Forth, he's my producing partner. He actually taught me how to produce. He was also a DJ, and he's like way younger than me. So my teacher has been younger than me, you know, and I tell him that all the time. And he's like, man, he trips out. I'm like, usually you learn from your elders. I'm like, well, I learned from you, bro. And my production skills got kind of clean because of him. And then I wanted to quit DJing at that time. I was like, man, I want to sell all my equipment and sell all that shit. And for some reason, I can never sell anything. Like I will put it on Craigslist anywhere, and my shit would not sell. And it's like, it's a hint. It's something telling me that, you know what I mean? Until this day, I got speakers I can't get rid of. But somehow I went back to DJing. It's like it doesn't let me quit, you know. And it's always been like it's hard for me to DJ now because I'm sure for a lot of real DJs that do it from the heart to keep up with today's music, because like me, man, I'm 44 years old. Like I listen to the kids play now because I have to, you know, because what I do doesn't mean I like it, doesn't mean I enjoy it,
right.
You know, and and I can't knock the youngsters for it, you know. I learned that from listening to Joe Budden. He kind of put it that way, like you can't, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's whack. Just because it's not your generation music, it doesn't mean it's whack, you know. And I support, but at the same time, I can't stop doing the hip hop that I grew up on, that's instilled in me. You know what I mean? Not just West Coast, but East Coast and Booty, Miami bass. I do that. All that music I can produce and DJ at any time. So
okay, go ahead.
So like I said, it's kind of hard with the new generation music to keep up with it, but you know, you got to do it if you want to make money off of it. That's what that's all.
Well, who are your top R&B artists that you like to share or that you like to personally vibe to? And then who are your top rap artists, like from our generation, that you enjoy, you know, putting in your mixes?
On R&B, the 90s, man. I mean, the 90s is close. That was my era that I grew up on. And I was just thinking of this because I'm coming up with some top 10 lists. I already put one on Instagram. It's my top 10 80s rap album. So I'm working on top 10 R&B songs of the 80s. So I'm gonna work my way to the 2000s. But R&B, I mean, Keith Sweat. You can never go wrong with some Keith Sweat. Like his upbeat stuff. I was just watching. I haven't watched any of the verses now that I have time. I've been watching it.
Right.
And I watched the Babyface versus Teddy Riley.
Teddy Riley.
Oh my. Just those two alone, like I was listening to them, like damn, they're just hit makers after hit makers. And Keith Sweat's cool. I mean, Jodeci. It all depends on if you wanna party and dance. I mean, I think Puff Daddy did a really good job in the 90s with everything he had going on. You know, so from Faith Evans to 112, to all everything he was producing. So, and then what was the second one you said?
Rap artists.
Like rap artists.
Ooh,
I mean,
because I've seen you share some Corrupt, and I've seen you share some. Who else did you recently share?
It's like I said, it depends on what the mood is. If somebody comes up to me, hey man, make me a West Coast mix. Probably the first will be Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Corrupt, Dog Pound, anything Dre related. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's one of my inspirations in hip hop is Dr. Dre, and probably in the East Coast will be, Russell Simmons. What he started with with Def Jam.
Def Jam.
I look at more than artists. I look at the complete, like what did they do for the culture? What changed it? What did they do? And Dr. Dre, I got to give him the most props because he basically started a whole genre of hip hop of music. That was the cool thing about our generation is that you had a lot of avenues to go to. Whatever you were into. Right. You were into political rap, you go to Public Enemy or KRS-One.
Right.
If you want to get the party going with some booty shaking, you go to 2 Live Crew, whatever they got going on. And it was always like that's what I missed about back in the days, and I used to do
Chronic was your favorite album?
Was that?
So the Chronic was your favorite album?
My top 2 albums, and actually KRS-One said the same thing. And after I heard him talk about this, he said, if somebody never heard hip hop before, and you want to introduce them to it, what 2 albums what album would you play them? And KRS-One said, I'll play 2. The Chronic and what's that one of the Public Enemies? It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. So those 2, and when he said that, it dawned to me. Those are my top 2 hip hop favorite albums. Straight Outta Compton might be in there, but the Chronic probably because G-Funk just blew over into.
Ain't nothing like that G-Funk.
And I that's my favorite genre if I had to pick one in hip hop, But I actually got to meet Nate Dogg here in Vegas in the late 90s. He was here for a wedding, and I used to work at the Stratosphere. I used to work in the casino, and I bumped into him. It's funny because I bumped into him when I was working, and I look up. I said, "Nate Dogg," and he's like, "Yeah, what's up?" He shook my hand, and he was cool. He was all dressed up, ready for a wedding, and it happened that night. We had I think it was some kind of party for the employees across the street at a bar. So we went 3-4 in the morning. We saw a stretch limo parking at the Chevron, and sure enough was Nate Dogg, and here comes 2 essays coming up to him. He's all like, he got a little worried. I said, "No, man, it's me, man. I was working. I met you earlier." "Oh yeah, I didn't recognize you without your uniform." But he got a little paranoid. He's probably remembering the Tupac days.
Yeah, so definitely.
I got to chop it up real quick.
JCal Radio.
What up?
Real quick. What was your best moment as a DJ? What was the greatest night, greatest weekend? What was your favorite time being a DJ?
My favorite, like one time? I can tell you the most I've gotten paid off one night. Doesn't mean it was my favorite, but I've done some pretty expensive parties. But if I had to choose one, it would probably be one day when I DJ for a Christmas party for my job, my former job. And the next day, that's all people talked about was my performance there, So that kind of made me feel a little special because people didn't know that I did that. Yeah, I mean, what I'm about to do is probably going to be my most memorable experiences in the future. What I'm working on, what's coming next. You know what I mean? This is to get me to talk like this. I don't usually do this. I probably just because I used to do AM radio back in the early 2000s. But it's different when you're like being recorded in videos, But right. I'm getting comfortable with it, just like I got comfortable in the boardwalk and singing for people and DJ.
Right.
So I'm glad. I appreciate that you guys have given me this opportunity to.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming through tonight, and it's exciting because I mean we really just come on, we just chill and we talk, and we get to know each other. You know what I'm saying? And it gives the audience also some know about you as well. And I know a lot of go ahead.
Yeah, I like what you're saying, and to me, my thing is because I've been thinking about doing my own podcast. I used to do one in 2010. But now that it's more of a thing, and like I'm meeting people like you guys, you know, just talk about hip hop, especially. it's pretty cool, you know. And damn, I lost my train of thought, but what you were saying. But I think this is very important that we talk about the history of it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I've been pushing for a long time, and even my own nephews have always been pushing me. You need to get on the radio, do your own podcast, because you have a lot of knowledge, a lot of, you know. And like I said, it's not really about me. I don't like to be about me. It's about what I know and what I can share with people, you know, through music, through avenues like this.
Right. Well, I think if we do start a podcast, I think it would go very well because you know, basically are a hip hop historian. You know what I'm saying? You really live that. Even through the lowrider days. You know, Kid Frost was always performing at those lowrider shows. Even 112 and Dub C, and you know what I'm saying? Just so they were always there. You know what I'm saying? So,
you know, I interviewed Kid Frost's son, Scoop DeVille, because one of my buddies I make music with, they're related. He brought him to the house, and it just happened like tonight. It just happened out of nowhere where I ended up interviewing. He was telling me a story about his dad and Eazy-E coming to the house and meeting Dr. Dre and all these stories. And I'm like, and he stopped for a minute and was like, "Man, you're a good interviewer." He told me that, and since then I kind of been like, you know what, I think I am, because I know what questions to ask, you know. And Kid Frost is one of my targets to interview one day.
Well, you know what? They definitely enjoy their flowers while they're here. You know what I'm saying? So I believe if you reach out to him, I think he would definitely, you know, give you that opportunity.
Yeah, I've chatted with him on over Instagram, and that's the trippy part about being my age, that I never thought I grew up to. I can just communicate with my favorite artist I grew up with over over the phone. It's just a trip sometimes, and it's beautiful at the same time, you know. So what do you do? Do you sing or rap or produce?
Me personally, or Aunt?
No, you. I don't know your first name because it says Pretty Flower.
Oh, Pretty Flower. Well, that's my name in English. Mai-Ling is because I'm Chinese and Mexican. Mai-Ling. So my name is Mai-Ling, but I used to perform. I used to rap. I had 8 backup dancers, and I was always at the lowrider shows as well. I followed a lot of that movement, and I was able to create the relationships with the celebrity artists, you know, that were there. And now what I've been able to morph into is, you know, continuing those relationships through social media now, but having their support to be able to have my own artists that are signed to me, you know, for management or whatever, and also create a battle rap league as well.
Ooh, you're talking all everything I just did this summer. I would have out of nowhere people would one microphone, and hey bro, can I battle? Can I get down on one of your beats? And I would just play any random beat. And then it was a big ass battle. It's all on video. I can't wait to share it with everybody. But yeah, that's important to me. We might work together because I'm actually hooking up my laptop again and getting all my beats on back in order. Everything I have on my Logic Pro. So I sample a lot. I don't know if you like sampling, but that's one of my favorite things to do is cooking up an old song and making it into something fresh.
Making a hit out of a hit. I feel you. And that's where rap and hip hop started from. It was sample.
Dr. Dre is probably the most genius out of that, because every song that he started with, or till this day, it's all been samples. I mean, of course, he's got some original shit, but and that's art in its own. It's like cooking. It's like cooking, you know, a recipe. You take grandma's recipe and you make it your own. You make it better.
And he did it in a way to where he didn't have to pay those royalties or those fees or anything. You know what I'm saying? So like he did so well.
They got away with it until Hammer. I think it was either Hammer or Vanilla Ice that got sued over their songs by the artist directly, like Queen, I think was trying to sue Vanilla Ice, and then Rick James was trying to sue Hammer for Can't Touch This.
Wow.
There was no laws at the time saying, hey,
right.
why is my song being played over and over and somebody else making rich out of it?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I know kind of the history of that too, you know. And look, I'll play you something real quick.
Okay.
And that's all it took,
right.
and the world changed after this. Dr. Dre did whatever he did to it, man. It's incredible.
It really is extremely powerful.
That's one thing I kind of like am very picky about today's music. Is that we missed that somewhere. The sampling and the coming up with your own concept behind it. Now it's basically just sit on behind a laptop and you know the Fruit Loops or whatever those apps already do it for you.
Right. And auto tune.
Auto tune is another one, you know. I don't know if you know, I probably have a few songs on here on my YouTube where I do the talk box.
Oh, cool.
I don't know. I'm sure you know the talk box. You know Roger
Troutman. Well, I know. I had the pleasure of being very acquainted with Roger Troutman and the Zap Band. So
wow, I got to meet him only once at a concert, and yeah, he's another one of my musical like experience, like legends, and inspired to be like, you know, like him, because anybody can. There's talk boxes everywhere. You can buy it online anywhere.
Right. And so, but you use that in some of your stuff, the talk box?
I've got a few on my computer actually that nobody's heard yet that I recorded. I got the hook on it. I just got to spread out the beat. It's some West Coast G-Funk shit.
You're gonna have to send that to me because that's right up my alley.
Yeah, that's I learned the talk box is taking me over 20 years to learn, because I don't know if people don't know the talk box it's a tube that goes in your mouth, and then you press the keyboard. You know how it is, but you still got to move your mouth like you're talking or singing while you're doing it with the keyboard. It's really hard. It's not easy, you know. But once you get it mastered, it's a beautiful thing. And Roger Troutman is one of my idols.
He killed that talk box. Oh my God, he killed that.
He did it. He made an instrument out of it.
100%.
Yeah, like Santana does his guitar. That's Roger has that talk box, and he wrote the songs, he made the beat, and he performed it. So he was that.
Yep.
And unfortunately, money got in the middle of it, and his brother and him got into it. And I don't know if a lot of people don't know that his own brother took him out, and then he took himself out.
Yeah.
So it's a sad story to end.
Very sad.
But Roger is a legend, and he took Sap on his back.
Yeah, I still communicate with the Zap Band as well. So
I've seen him live after Roger. You know, it wasn't the same, but gotta give him props for still doing it. You know, and they're a legendary band.
Yo, J Cal Radio.
What up, dog?
Hey, so what have you got good from this COVID pandemic? What good has come out of it?
What good has came from it?
Yeah.
For me, a lot of things, man. And it's sad to say because it hasn't been the same for everybody. But what I was just saying that I did in San Diego alone, and I was able to afford to do that every day, play music for people and bring them joy, bring them back to, because not even the bars were playing music at some point. They because there was no people going in them, you know, and I think that's it, man. Like I made people enjoy the I brought back that American spirit that was kind of fading away there. We didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to happen. You know, we didn't know. This is all new to us. So, and it got me, it got me to realize what the important things in life are, It's not all, because it could take, people lost jobs for so long,
Overnight.
I was already independent. I already know how to hustle without a job. So it was kind of easier for me. And I was able to perform for people, and it made me open my eyes that my calling here is to be an entertainer, to perform, and whatever it is to do. Once you guys will hear me hear Sinatra, one day you guys will get to hear it. I keep it only to people, and I don't like to record it and post it yet.
Right.
I want the word to spread on its own. And my little brother actually pushed me to be more, to perform more in front of people. Because he heard me sing Sinatra one time. He's like, what the fuck,
I need to hear that. I need to hear everything that you got going on. This is so dope. In the comments, they're asking if you know E40, if you know him personally, and they just want to know, if he's the same person,
I got one short story on E40 because like I said, I was born, lived in Vegas, back in San Diego. I've been back and forth. Right. One time in Planet Hollywood, I was there, like I said, doing slots, and E40 was playing the roulette table, and I just stopped in the middle and I said, E40, and he said, hey, you know what he does? Yeah, shorty, what's up? He shook my hand, real cool about it, and went back about his business, and the dealer was like, who are you? The dealer didn't know. Wow. But real humble, he stopped his game just to shake my hand, and that's good enough for me. I know a little bit of history about E40 in the Bay Area movement. There's a documentary on Netflix that I recommend for everybody. It's called Hip Hop Evolution, and Hip Hop Evolution. It's on Netflix. Hopefully it's still there, but basically they cover everything that I told you that I was raised in, like me and you were. It covers that, like where the Miami sound came from, like where the Ghetto Boys, the Houston, Texas, they go all over, and they cover that, man. I've never seen anything so dope. This guy that did it, I think he's out of New York. He put that together, and it's pretty awesome. So you guys should check that out. It's called Hip Hop Evolution. And,
hey, J. Cal.
Yeah, man.
When did you feel hip hop started to change?
I got to keep it real because people sometimes be hating on me, especially the youngsters. When I predicted it, I started seeing it happening once Lil Wayne got a little too popular, and I've got nothing against him. I give him props because he's an entrepreneur and he's made it happen. I was never a fan of his music per se, but I saw where things were headed right away. He was the curve, you know what I mean? And at first I was like, man, fuck this. And then I got into it, I was like, all right, I'll give it a chance, but, and then the same year, I think it was 2006, 2010 or somewhere around there that Nas came up with Hip Hop Is Dead, the album. And everybody was hating on him for saying Hip Hop Is Dead, while Lil Wayne was number one. And then T.I. came up, all these new artists, the Yeezys and all these. It's just the next generation, and I look back at it now, I'm like, man, that shit was dope, But at the time, I still wanted to keep that. Hey, you know what I mean? I just met up with my co-producer, Jared Ford. He had just shown me how to make beats, and things were shifting. We were like, oh, shit, we came a little too late to the party, If we don't do this trap beat shit, ain't nobody going to listen to you. And that's how it went. And you can't hate on it because it's a generational change, It's a shift. Right. You got to change it every here and there, or else it's gonna dry out. And also to add to that is, I kind of know that corporations taking over hip hop, started commercializing it too much. It was always like that though, like back in the days when Run DMC got deals with Adidas and shit. Nobody was hating, because everybody's getting paid this money that nobody that's ever seen out of the hood or the ghettos and the barrios, you know what I mean? Yep. But jump to the future in the 2000s, I think it got too corporate and too trendy, I guess you want to say it. And then when Soulja Boy came out on his own, and everybody, when Soulja Boy made it big with that song, everybody thought, oh shit, let me make a beat on the computer, you know? So it kind of cluttered the music, you know, in a way, in a sense. And that's kind of how I feel about it. But like I said, I've learned to respect that the culture is going to keep changing. Times are going to keep changing, you know, and you can't hate on whatever today is going on.
Right.
Just because you don't understand it.
Right.
That's my perspective. And
kind of like our parents didn't understand what hip hop and rap was, you know, when we were really enjoying it.
It's funny you say that because in this summer I met a lot of old school cats older than me that grew up in the, you know, I would play some old school shit like this. So they would be talking to me about they used to go to high school dances with this, you know. So I asked them, I said, how did you guys feel? How did you feel about when rap started and you guys were already, you know, past that? You weren't young anymore. So did you guys hate on it or something, you know? And some said they didn't like it, and some adapted to it and embraced it, you know. How can you go wrong with Run DMC and the Beastie Boys and LL Cool J?
Right.
They had everybody in the country rocking, you know.
Yeah.
And rap got big right away.
Well, my parents definitely didn't understand it. Going back, my dad had his own Latin orchestra, like 7-string, you know, Latin orchestra where they're playing big band type of, you know, Latin stuff. So it was like, and then we're listening to country, and then they have the 8 tracks and the 45s, and you know what I'm saying? So I come from that era. My parents are a lot older. My dad will be 90 and my mom's 77. But when they started hearing, you know, all of this music, they're like, what is that? And then we're throwing cardboard on the side of the house so that, you know, we can be out there spinning on our heads, you know, doing the continuation and all these, you know, dead mans and, you know, crazy legs and all this stuff. They're like, they couldn't, they still can't, you know what I'm saying? They're like, I don't understand any of what they're saying, Mai-Ling. So it's like, but this is the passion, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah. You know, this summer I met a lot of youngsters, man. I was really impressed on these youngsters that breakdance. I had a lot of b-boys come up to me that were rapping like the back in the like traditional rap, you know, and they're just like young and learning and keeping the culture alive, especially b-boy. You know, that's something that's really hard to do, and I'm just glad that a lot of cats have not given up on it. I was able to DJ a few b-boy sets. I did one in Chicano Park. It's on my Instagram, and yeah, that's a beautiful thing. Not just hip hop either, like, you know, R&B. I think R&B needs to be revived a little bit here, and the traditional R&B, it needs to come back. We're missing that. I know Frankie J. He's from San Diego also. He's working on something, and I've been hearing some of his things on Instagram, and they sound like they're coming back. To that.
You talking about Frankie J that did a song with Baby Bash?
Yeah. Frankie J. He did a few songs with Baby Bash.
Well, MC Magic, and then they're from Phoenix, so
yeah. And he did that. He got that big hit, Obsession, whatever. That's him. But if you listen to his Instagram, he's coming up with some nice R&B stuff from back in the days.
I'm gonna have to take a listen because Frankie J was pretty big, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, he's a homie. He's from San Diego. I mean, I've never met him personally, but he's the same. He grew up in Chula Vista. That's where Mario Lopez is from too.
Oh wow! By the bow.
Mario Lopez.
You have a break dance?
Huh?
You ever break dance?
Yes, I did. I did in the when breakdance is starting, but once the little era passed, the little breakdance, it went from breakdancing in East Coast until the West Coast came and kind of like fuck, it's not cool to dance no more. Now you gotta be gangster, you know what I mean? Once NWA started and the West Coast started taking over, it wasn't really about dancing no more. So I kind of shifted away from breakdancing, but yeah, I did it. I was young too, and I think I was good.
There's a question in the comments. They want to know, do you know Jay of Club Nouveau, who wrote Rumors, Lean on Me, and has the most popular sampled song, I Got 5 on It?
Yeah, they're pretty good. I don't know them, no, but yeah, I know Club Nouveau had those two songs, Rumors and Why You Treat Me So Bad.
Yeah.
That's a sample. What was that? Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah. Well, as far as Lean on Me, Cassidy actually just did a remake to Lean on Me, and that shit's pretty hot.
Okay, I gotta check it out. Cassidy?
Mm-hmm.
Shout Cassidy, the hustler. Hey, DJ J Cal Radio. What you got planned for next year? What's the goal for next
2021, year? Man. Hopefully I'll be DJing at the Raider Stadium.
Hey.
That's one of my goals to get in there. I've been a Raider DJ for about since like 1998. I used to DJ for Raider bars.
Wow.
Here and in San Diego. That's so I guess I call myself a DJ Raider a DJ Raider fan, you know.
So the Raiders just moved to Vegas, right?
That's why I'm here. I'm here because I'm trying to work my way in there, you know. I mean, I'm gonna keep knocking on the door until they let me in.
You're gonna get that.
And one day you guys will hear me, and I'm gonna go live with you guys in there, you know.
Heck yeah, that's so dope.
Everything's possible, you know what I mean? Like we've survived this COVID. I've survived this COVID shit. Why not? Why not do?
I mean, we survived the 90s drinking water out the hose. You know what I'm saying? Outside, and you know, stuff like that. So it's like this COVID thing, really, to some like us, from our generation, it really isn't that bad because we've gone through a whole lot.
For sure.
Well, I mean, we were even in cars without seatbelts. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, the 90s was a trip. I think that's probably the era that we're always going to remember, at our age. But yeah, I survived drinking more than water in the 90s. Shit. I was drinking way too much at too young of an age. But I lived in Vegas. What else is there to do here? You know what I mean?
Were you ever familiar with Dookie water? Where they would put saladitos in and
oh yeah. that's there. So you're from Arizona originally, or you just?
Yes, I'm born and raised in Tucson.
Orale, Tucson's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of lowriders movement out there. A lot of Raider fans. I know they're out there.
Mm-hmm. Big time. Big time.
That's cool.
How's
the weather over there right now?
The what? I'm sorry.
What was that, Ant?
What you smoking on?
It's some indica called OG. No, everything's OG now, right?
You're right.
No.
It's lemon kush. It's like citrusy, but it's indica. But
nice.
I add some hemp CBD isolate to kind of even it out, so I don't get all, because indica makes me like I want to pass out.
Mm-hmm.
So adding some CBD to it makes me talk more in an open way. But
I got you.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you guys we have this thing going on, man. Hopefully we can do it more and we can get something going, because we got to keep the culture alive. You know what I mean? From a female's perspective is another thing we need more of. So I'm glad that you're into this and keeping the word alive,
Yeah, definitely. It was something, like I said, my parents didn't understand, and a lot of, the older people didn't understand, but it was something that I was always attracted to. I mean, even from the 80s, you know what I'm saying? I remember, holding the mop as a microphone, and pretending I was up there spitting, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know how back then, but I was doing that, and I have pictures, doing little checkered, hat on, and all that stuff. So it's just something that I've always been passionate about. And I recently asked my mom, why is it that I even got into the medical field if I ended up just coming right back to what I truly love and am passionate about?
Yes, and it's never too late to do anything. I mean, I'm a living proof of that.
Yep.
Like I'm still here fighting to do big things, and once you give up, I think that's when it's over. And if you don't let it give it up, then it's never going to be over. You got to keep fighting.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been blessed myself too to grow up in the era that we did, because not only I don't only DJ hip hop or whatever, I also do the Spanish side. You know, I grew up in the border. I'm a border
Right.
baby. So
Yeah.
all that culture, the Mexican culture, is still in me, and not only that, but Puerto Rican and Cuban music that we all grew up, Dominican, Colombian,
Yep.
but even Brazilian music.
Yeah.
So Spanish. You bring all that with you. So I even bumped that in the beach, and people were like, "Oh my God!" They started dancing. People that you never thought would dance this kind of music. I'm also on that side, so I'm very spread out musically like that.
That
Mariachi.
is so
I sing.
awesome.
I sing mariachi also.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I grew up with a lot of mariachi groups and like that. I mean, just Tucson is just very enriched in that Mexican culture, the mariachi and the corridos and the cumbias and stuff like that. And yeah, that's
I don't
so.
think those will never die out, especially cumbias, because every party any cumbia you put at any time of the year, you'll get somebody moving.
Baila como Juana la Cubana.
Yeah, all those classics.
Yeah, Celia Cruz, all of that. Oh,
yeah. That's seeing all them. They're Cuban, they're Puerto Rican, Dominican. The people don't understand how big it is.
It just
It's like English music. Like our music is, from England all the way to Canada to they love us in Japan. The Chicano culture in Japan is big. I didn't know much about it until I watched like a little documentary on it, and they be getting down like the cholas and the lokes, and they got lowriders over there, and they love Little Rob and all them fools.
Oh wow!
Yeah, look into that, man. Japan's really embraces the Chicano culture.
That's
and hip hop too. Yeah.
Wow.
That's how far it's gotten, just from watching Blood In, Blood Out, I guess.
Right. Exactly.
Have you guys watched the trailer for the Selena series on Netflix?
No.
Give it a watch.
I already seen the movie.
I've been bashing it since I've seen it. But look at it and you tell me what you think. I think they're trying to remake the movie a little too much.
He hasn't even watched the movie.
No, I've seen the movie.
Oh, you have?
Oh, with Jennifer Lopez? The J-Lo? Yeah, you gotta watch. Save yourself the series and watch that. But just the actors that they put on there is like nothing to do with the real people. So, and then I heard that the sister was the one that produced it. So
really,
it's gonna make it look like more about her, about the drummer, because she.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Was her family involved in the creation of that?
The sister was. So, I don't like to gossip, but she made it look a little bit about herself, because there's a few scenes where it says, "There will never be Selena without you, my sister, the drummer." Like she was really specific about the drummer. Watch it yourself, and you let me know.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, the classic is definitely untouchable. They're saying in the comments that.
Yeah, you can't mess with the classic. You can't mess with the.
Anybody want to ask DJ J Cal anything?
Hey, got a lot of good playlists I like to share I'm gonna show you them right here. This is my Nate Dogg one. Everything's on Spotify and Tidal, Tidal, whatever the hell you say it.
Tidal,
So I got on Spotify alone. If you see anything that says JCal, that's all made by myself. You guys can follow. Alternative, I got Blazing Jams. That one's just to get high with.
And you said one of the playlists on YouTube is almost at 1 million views right now, right?
No, a YouTube mix.
Oh, YouTube mix. Okay.
Yeah, YouTube mix is called JCal's 80s and R&B mega mix. It's 45 minutes long, and I'm at 900,000. I need 100,000 more to go. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna get out of it, but
send me the link to that when you get a chance.
Yes.
That way I can drop it.
I'll send it on your Instagram.
Okay, yeah.
And let me see if I can show it real quick so your viewers can see it.
Now.
But
they want to know: do you play live on any platforms?
On Instagram, I've gone live a few times, but I want to make it a better platform, and I think what you guys here are doing, I'm gonna go with. If you go on my video, if you go on my YouTube, I got this little mix I did with a B-boy. Let's see if you guys can see it. You just follow me on JCal Radio. So I was doing this live mix while this B-boy was getting down.
Nice. The boardwalk.
You'll see that on my YouTube. See?
Oh, there you go, JCal. You killed it.
Was that?
You know that's you right there.
Yeah, I wish, man. I need CBD on my back if I want to do that.
and some heating pads for the next day, right?
For real, man. Too old for that. But yeah.
Do you DJ or spin, or do you do both?
Do I what?
Do you spin, or do you just DJ, or do you do both?
Right now I just do everything on my iPad. Believe it or not, I got this software called DJ Pro by Algorithm. You guys, if you want to learn how to DJ, I'm actually thinking of uploading some tutorials on how to, because it's very easy on the iPad, and I've been doing this, so it just saves me so much time of carrying shit around. You know, I'm getting too old. But if you give me turntables, I get down with those too. Yeah, I do both. And this is that's actually at 889,000, but this is the mix I'm telling you guys about. Send me that link real quick. Okay, send me that. I'll send it to you just to show your viewers.
Yeah.
It looks like this. It's an 80s R&B mix.
Okay.
You guys will love it, and help me get to 1 million.
That is so dope. I'm actually looking for it right now.
Yeah, just go to YouTube JCal Radio. Go down the list. I've got some freestyle mixes on there. I got a few West Coast mixes. A lot of mixes I was not able to upload because of the copyright shit. You know.
Right.
I have this one badass West Coast mix, and one song by I think it was DJ Quick that blocked the whole mix, so I couldn't upload it.
Man.
DJ Quick, if you're listening, one day unblock it, you know, so the people can hear it.
Yeah, we definitely. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
And I'm also in the CBD business, hemp, and I make my own topical called Tres Verdes.
Yo.
Okay.
That is so cool. I've actually been looking for some salve and, stuff like that, CBD and.
Oh yeah, this one is called. It's multi-purpose because my Instagram is Tres Verdes or Vegas CBD. I got two of them. Vegas CBD is probably the easier one to get to. My product is called Tres Verdes, and what I started doing was
that looks like what is it, Tres Flores little thing? You know what I'm saying?
That's actually kind of where we got it from.
Hey.
When I first made it, my partner that helped me made it, he was messing around and he put it on his hair.
Uh-huh.
Hey man, it looks like tres flores. I'm like, okay. And then later when I was trying to come up with a name, I remember he said that, and I said, I'll just add verdes to it, tres verdes, and it's like 4 years old already.
Well, West Coast is definitely gonna catch on to what that is. You know what I'm saying, or what it's remind them of the tres flores.
And actually, my brother actually tried it on his hair, and he said it worked. It looks nice on his. It lets you all nice and.
Wow.
It doesn't leave you all greasy because it has coconut oil in it. And,
love coconut oil.
And it has aloe vera. So when you get a burn or some kind of burn or whatever, you put this on right there and it'll start healing faster.
Yeah,
the Savila, that's what it does.
Uh-huh.
And then I added the CBD is good for pain. You guys know CBD.
Right.
And then the eucalyptus that's in it, it opens up your pores.
Yeah.
I use it sometimes when I get, because ever since I've been back to Vegas, I got these allergies here because it's really bad in allergies in Vegas. And I'm a Cali boy, man. I was used to being by the beach, next to the ocean all day. And this helped me. It's been helping me open my pores up. So you guys check it out. It's on Vegas CBD or Tres Verdes Hemp on Instagram. And
I'm pulling up those things right now.
I actually got a new line of it's kind of the same, but it's more like a cream, and it's made out of lemongrass mint, and it's pretty good. They sent it to me from Oregon. It's made in Oregon.
Oh.
Yeah.
I found both. So I found the link for that 80s mix, and I dropped that in the comments, and then I'm linking your Tres Verdes IG over right now.
Yeah, I got Tres Verdes on Facebook and Vegas CBD on Facebook too.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to work on this Las Vegas Raiders thing too.
That's gonna be so powerful and amazing. Like, I'm excited for that for you.
I've been ready, repping it since I got here.
Yep. You got that.
And it's funny because I moved here in the early 90s and I was already I thought it was a NWA, Public Enemy, trying to be like all cool, dressing like. So I had everything Raiders, but it was LA Raiders at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was repping LA Raiders in Vegas in the 90s. Now it's the Raiders are here. It's kind of crazy how that all happened. But yeah, I'm gonna work my way into the stadium. I've actually emailed, like, I don't stop emailing them.
Good.
And I've been sending them some mixes, but I'm gonna have to record my Sinatra and send it to them.
Yep.
I think that's what's gonna get me in the door.
Well, you know what? Everything happens for a reason, and the universe gives us signs, all throughout, life on an everyday basis. And so for the Raiders to move over to Las Vegas, where you are, it's like you that was meant to be, So you just gotta keep going and keep pushing. And I know you know how to hustle, so and sell yourself. So
yeah, I mean, it came so naturally. Now it comes naturally to me. Before I'm really shy, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like to talk too much, whatever. But if you're gonna be a hustler, you have to sell yourself, and I've came to the point where it's like I'm being real, you know what I mean? Nothing that I do is fake. Everything I do it to help people, number one, and to make a living out of it. If I'm gonna go bust my ass, it's gonna be for my own.
Because
beliefs.
It's what you love and it's what you enjoy and what you appreciate, and that there's other people just like you.
I've gotten to meet people like that are in the same, like I'm meeting you guys, starting
Right.
up a video podcast is something I've been thinking about for so long that I've been wanting to do, but it's like, man, I don't know where to start, or so I give you guys appreciation for this platform.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming. And anytime you want to come back on and, talk about some more, I'm definitely all ears.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I love the culture, and we got to keep it alive.
Oh yeah, shout out to DJ JK Radio.
Yeah. And aside from this podcast, Ant actually has the two hottest music showcases on YouTube. He has the hip hop rap, side of it, and then he has another one with the R&B, slow jams type of poetry stuff. And he features artists that are not signed and or just barely coming up or whatever, you know what I'm saying, but he puts those videos together and plays their songs. And so he has Smoked Out 11 coming up very, very soon. So I've been able to actually handpick a couple of those artists from those showcases and bring them over into what I'm doing and manage them and whatnot. So
well, if you guys, like I said, I'm gonna finish the night working on getting my beats back in order, and if you guys need some, I'll donate. You know what I mean? I'll donate for the cause, because I've got some beats that have been sitting there for years, and
I'm interested.
They need to get
Hey,
used.
Ray want to start that CBD bomb. She need a whole jar of that. Tell how much.
Was that?
How much for that?
Jar.
Well, this is 15 plus shipping.
Okay.
So I mean, if you get two, I mean the shipping's gonna be the same, Okay. But it's $15. It's 1 ounce. All the whatever's on the bag, the recipe.
Okay.
The ingredients are all down back there. I mean, I'm starting off again, so the containers are, they're basic, nothing. I actually want to get them into like a squirt, make it easier for people, But everything costs money, so I'm working on that. And here's another thing I'm working on. And I've done this last winter. CBD infused tamales.
What? Shush. How?
Very simple.
What?
I got my method. And
Yo.
And THC ones too for the locals.
Yo. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to go out to Vegas for the THC infused ones.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind shipping the CBD ones. You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely.
But I'll make an announcement on it on my Instagram. Once I get the masa, I'm actually going to pick up the dough tomorrow, and I'm gonna start doing some infusions, and the tamales are coming. Dun, 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 dun.
And it's definitely tamale season.
Yeah, I'm gonna start off with just fruit ones like piña,
pineapple,
and I'm gonna work on some mango ones.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna fruit it up, and just try something. Almond. I mean, not almonds. Like what the hell is it called? Like hazelnut ones.
Ooh, that's good.
So I'm gonna start with the sweet ones first, and then because the meat and all that's a lot of work. You know what I mean? It's just I like to make tamales, but it's a pain in the ass. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
And I'm gonna keep it simple with the pineapple ones and the raisins and.
Are you going to use corn husks with when you do the ones that you ship, or because I know that there's other methods that you're able to use aside from corn husks? About that.
I try to put them right straight to the freezer. And then, because I've shipped only a couple times the tamales. I haven't done it a long, but I know I want to keep them as cold as possible and then ship out. I gotta figure out a method. Maybe you can help me with that, to keep them fresh. But and I probably do overnight to be easier. Do overnight shipping or 2-day shipping, so they can get eaten right away. But usually, it's what I do. As soon as if I don't sell them right away, I'll put them in the freezer. Keep them packaged and sealed. But this will be my second winter doing it, and I'm excited about it. I want to try something different,
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Everything you got going on is exciting, and I can tell you're from my generation, especially because you don't have just one thing that you're doing. You have multiple things that you're into and creating, and just 100 different avenues that you can hustle with, and from. So.
And now another thing that's very important. Like DJ Envy, you guys know him from the Breakfast Club, right? I was just watching his. I was just watching him today, and he helps people how to manage their money into buying homes and properties, you know,
flipping houses and stuff.
without really charging them. I hear everybody's like volunteers, like the guys that do the credit report, you know, the loans. He's already teamed up with them to help people. And that's, you don't have to do that, you know what I mean? But he said people are of our color don't get those opportunities when, you know, when you got to pay to learn how to make that, you know, to hustle houses and flip them and all that. So with that being said, is like that's another thing that I like to, that I feel like my responsibility is to keep it, passing it down to the youngsters, you know. So I tell them a lot, is like, hey, don't just stick to working 9 to 5 and then on the weekends you just go party, and you gotta find a way for money to work for you, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just about working and then making somebody else rich.
Right.
You know?
Well, the gifts and talents that we have are not ours to keep; they're ours to share and to, you know, help teach the next generation how to, you know, keep that going in their own ways, you know. So.
Yeah. And my grandma used to tell me, and I still live to this day with it, that you got to find a way to make your talents work for you.
Right.
So, you know, it's not easy, because you can be the best singer in the world, but if ain't nobody listening to you, you're not the best singer in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's little things like that. You just got to find a way to get, and I'm almost there, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not 100% where I want to be, but I feel like I'm in the right direction, and I got support from San Diego to Las Vegas to, you know, even in Arizona I have family over there.
And look at Ants in North Carolina, so you're already, you know, across the country with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so. and this is, I know you guys are getting started. You got your pilots. You know, Ant was telling me about that, and I was like, man, yeah, I'd like to jump in there with you guys and, you know, break it in and keep this going.
Hey, I'm almost at 600 uploads on my channel.
Yeah,
600.
Yeah,
good, man. That's good, because, like you said, you guys, we're kind of all doing the same thing, man. Helping other people,
right?
Like artists, like you guys are doing. And now I got the beats, you know. And actually, my mentor, I like to call him Jerry Forth, is just moved into his house, and he's working on his own little studio where he wants to do a podcast too out of it. And we're gonna get back into the kitchen, because he makes his beats his style. I make my beats my style that he's taught me how to. And then, but when we blend,
mesh them together.
Yeah, we get that. We got some songs on. I got some songs on Spotify that I produced by.
Some unique sounds.
It's not really unique, but it's classic, old school. And this is me on the talk box. If you guys go on Spotify, it's called "Old School," the song by Lozon. Hold on.
Let me pull it up.
You know what it is. Las Vegas, East Side. What's up, my riders at? That old school shit. Show these fools how we do it out here. Bump this shit at the motherfucking park.
That's all samples and me on the talk box, though.
I heard that. You're gonna have to definitely send those links over too. That for sure. To Spotify.
Yeah, like, I'm all over the place. I need to organize more, because I even have stuff on SoundCloud that I haven't even messed with. That I need to go back and get back on that. But sometimes that's the thing I was saying. When you do too much, sometimes you lose track of everything, you know. And I gotta learn how to. That's another thing you got to learn, is to organize yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
This is good, man. I'm glad you guys.
As long as you never stop moving forward, you know what I'm saying? Is you keep taking those steps, you're going to end up, you know, in those places that you really want to be. But thank you definitely for coming on tonight. And like I said, you're welcome to come back anytime. Ant, do you have any other questions for him tonight?
Shout out to DJ JCal Radio in the place to be. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you for coming through. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody. Dragon's Lair Entertainment too. Al.
Does this go on YouTube after it's done?
It's like on YouTube right now, but yeah. it posts up so people can definitely, you know, watch it after.
I'll share it. I'll share it when it's uploaded.
Okay.
In my platforms, and let's keep this going, and let's keep the conversation going, and keep the culture alive.
Definitely. I'll send you the link to it as well. But
thank you, Aunt.
Yeah, thank you for coming through, DJ Cal Radio. Such a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Have an amazing rest of your night. Thank you guys in the chat. Thank you guys so much in the chat for coming through. I appreciate all of you. Have a good night.